Simple coloured counters are my favourite maths resource for using in tutoring, and at just £5 on Amazon they can be fantastic to use at home as well. In the next few minutes I'm going to show you how to use them for multiplication, fractions, ratio, probability and even algebra, taking your child from reception all the way to year 6. Let's start simple and work our way up. How many counters can you see? Encourage children to count and move the counters at the same time. This is called one-to-one correspondence, and it ensures that they don't count the same counter twice or not at all. If we move them in a line, we can see there are 8 altogether. If I spread them out, has the number changed? That's a great question to ask a child. Can they make different arrangements to show that there are 8 that make sense to them? Which colour has more? Can you prove it? If we match up one of each colour, then we can see which one has the extra without counting the groups. If we put them back, how many counters do we have to move to make the groups equal and be able to change the symbol in the middle to an equal sign? We could move one counter. What do you notice? Can you make an addition number sentence? Can you make a different addition number sentence? Can you write the related subtraction facts that belong in the same family? What happens if I move one counter over here? Has that changed anything, or is it still the same? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 green counters. I bring in 5 more. How many have I got altogether? I don't want to count them all from 1 again, so let's make life easy and arrange them in easy to count groups. I have a group of 10 plus 2, which is 12. We can make different part whole models using the same counters. We could also use this for subtraction. I have 12, I take away 5, how many have I got left? Can every counter find a partner? No, there is one left over. One counter left without a partner means the number 11 is odd. If I add one more counter, is it going to be odd or even? Now it's even. What would happen if I added 5 more counters? What would happen if I had 101 counters? Could you predict? How many counters are there? And how can you see the total without counting individually? We could have repeated addition. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 all together. Or we could say this is 3 groups of 4, which makes 12. If we turn the array around, now we have 4 groups of 3, but it still makes 12. How many different ways could you make 12 counters? How many different arrangements can you make of equal groups? I have 17 counters. Can I divide them equally into 4 groups? Let's take turns sharing them into groups. Lots of children actually find this part quite hard, to share equally one by one. So I have 4 equal groups and I have 1 left over. So 17 divided by 4 equals 4, remainder 1. There is 1 left over. If these were 17 biscuits, could we divide the remaining biscuit? If these were 17 children getting into cars, what would the remainder mean? We can use arrays to find factor pairs. Here, 18 has factors of 2 and 9. I could rearrange the whole group to be below to have factor pairs of 1 and 18. I can also move these around to make equal groups, and now I have factor pairs of 3 and 6. If I take 1 away, leaving 17 counters, I can use this to work out that 17 is a prime number because there will only be one array of 1 by 17. You choose a number from 10 to 30. Can you predict whether it will now make more arrays than 18? We have 12 counters. We've split them into 3 equal groups. One of those equal groups is 1/3, which is therefore 4. 2 of those equal groups is 8, so 2/3 equals 8. We could rearrange them into quarters and find 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters. Ask questions, why do the groups have to be equal? The denominator tells us how many equal groups to make. The numerator tells us how many of those groups we need. I have 12 counters. 6 of the 12 are yellow. I can split them into 2 groups of 6 counters. Now 3 of the 6 are yellow. I could split them again into all separate 6 separate groups. Now 1 out of 2 is yellow. Equivalent fractions. I've got 12 counters. If 3 counters represent 1/4 and 6 represent 2/4, what does the combined group represent? 1/4 plus 2/4 equals 3/4. Why can we add the numerators but not the denominators? What does the denominator describe in this picture? The ratio of green counters to yellow is 2 to 3. When there is one group, there are 2 yellow, 2 green and 3 yellow. When there are 2 groups, there are 4 green and 6 yellow. When there are 3 groups, there are 6 green and 9 yellow. Extend by asking questions such as, if there are 10 green counters, how many yellow counters must there be? Use the resources. If there are 25 counters altogether, how many are green? What fraction of the whole group is yellow? Which colour am I most likely to select if these were in a bag? Which colour would I be least likely to select? What's the probability of finding a red counter? Probability is 3 out of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which we could simplify to 1 over 2. The probability of selecting a yellow counter is 1 out of 6. What would we expect if we conducted this 10 times or 1,000 times? Would the probability change? If I've already selected 3 red counters, is blue now guaranteed? Is it more likely or less likely after the reds have been removed? Let's look at forming algebraic equations. Here I have 4 terms in a sequence. Term 1, when n is 1, there are 2 counters. Term 2, when n is 2, there are 5 counters. For number 3, there are 8 counters. For the last one, there are 11 counters. What do you notice each time? We're adding on 3, and we can see it with the counters. We're adding on 3. So we can form an expression of 3n as our starting point because we add 3 on each time, but we need to adjust because each time 1, it's 1 less. So here we see 3n, when n is 1, our outcome is actually 2, so we've adjusted by 1. Let's test it. When n is 2, 3 times 2 is 6, subtract 1 is 5. When n is 3, 3 times 3 is 9, subtract 1 is 8, and on it goes. So we've found a formula to predict, given any term in the sequence, how many counters there would be. We have the equation 3x plus 1 equals 7, and we want to solve to find the value of x. First step, remove the 1. Next step, how many in each of the 3 equal groups? 2. So therefore x equals 2, and we can see it and understand it. I'm going to give you a final challenge to see which of these techniques has stuck. So here are 20 counters, 8 red, 12 blue, and I'm going to give you 5 questions to answer. Pause after each one to find your solution, and I'll give you the answers at the end. Question 1. What fraction is red in its simplest form? Question 2. What fraction are blue? Again, always in the simplest form. Question 3. What is the ratio of red to blue in its simplest form? Question 4. The probability of selecting a red counter is... And question 5. What percentage is red? Here are your answers. And we can see that this one arrangement has just connected fractions, simplifying, ratio, probability and percentages, and that's the real power of using such a simple resource, both at home or in the classroom, or in the tutor room. I wonder which of the 15 techniques surprised you the most. Please share this with a parent or teacher that could use it, and I will put a printable guide to all 15 prompts in the comments below.